Hello, everybody. It's Kristina Dennis, Transformational Self-Empowerment Master. And I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend. Lots to be grateful for. I watched videos with the children that have their soldier parents come home and just was broken and just willing to have those emotions, watching those children receive their parents and their parents were surviving or surprising them. It was amazing. And I've never lost anybody in the service, but I do feel tremendous gratitude toward everyone who has paid for our freedom with their lives. And I met with a girlfriend this morning, and I hadn't seen her for a while, and it was so much fun. And what's funny is that I didn't really want to go. I get very agoraphobic. I want to stay home. It's safe inside my house. I worked all weekend. I thought, yes, let me do this, and what was great about it is that I knew I was going to go because I had made a commitment and I adore her. And second, when we got there, she said she didn't really want to come either, that she wanted to stay in bed. And I loved that because how the heck are we ever going to get well or push ourselves if we're not honest about it? And she just showed me again that she's my people, and that being accepted and being honest and authentic is number one. And we started having conversations because she had really stood by my side 4.5 years ago when my son's father, and I asked my son's father to move out. And hi there, I was really struggling because it was such a painful time listening to some of the things he was saying. I had given up my career. I was staying home. I had worked so hard at a job and a nonprofit to get my son as many services as I could. My relationship with his father was in shambles. It was just stressful, and it was a really brave thing to go ahead and move into knowing that what was best for me and for my son was to not have a broken home surrounding him. And even though it was incredibly painful, it was worth it. But something else came to me, and I wanted to share this. I never had an opportunity to love myself at that level of, I want to say depression, but it was depression, but it was more of like, I didn't have the ability to be super productive. I was making mistakes right and left. I was lost. I was having trouble getting out of bed. I didn't trust anybody, much less the opposite sex. And what is amazing about that time was that I had people like my girlfriend this morning that I got to meet with who just kept loving me through it. They just kept saying, we love you, we love you. You're doing, the best that you can. Don't worry about it. And because I really think I didn't have any gas left. I didn't have enough to be my own enemy. I didn't have enough to, throw some Christy magic on it and overproduce and run. And sometimes that even catches up with me today in today's world, where I'll sit and meditate and I'll have panic, a little bit of panic after. And I think it's because I can easily turn myself into the go mode. And when I'm going so much, I'm not feeling very much. And so that's why the daily disciplines and these times of transformation are so important to talk about. We tend to love the stories where, okay, somebody struggles and they fall down, and then they have their hero's journey. I mean, that's literally a term, and they get back up and they share that. And we don't talk about the little period between falling down and when you get back up. And that little period was when I learned how to truly love myself. I had a lot of time in sobriety. I counseled a lot of people. I had done amazing things in the nonprofit world, amazing things in treatment for my child. I had pushed for, helped a lot of people, was a citizen, a global citizen. And I still felt like my worthiness, my value depended on my son's recovery and how much I got done. And when I couldn't get anything done anymore at that level, when I was stumbling, when, I was emotionally wrecked is when me taking alternative action and loving myself and sitting down and letting feelings wash over me and share them and being a bit of a mess in the world, not so polished, not so put together, is when I really learned to love myself at this level. And so as much as I want my life to be, trouble-free, because I am normal, well, as normal as I'm going to be, as much as I want my life to be trouble-free, the truth is that if I hadn't had that incredible struggle with my son's, many, many years of him not sleeping and all the struggle that I went through with his recovery and with helping him get well and move through developmental stages that are difficult for him. If I hadn't had that complete abandonment by his father, emotionally, whatever, I would not have gotten to the place where I really loved myself for just being a person and for being, messy and confused and sad sometimes and happy sometimes and a little manic and a little slow. And I was reminded of that and those times and the micro steps that it took to move out of that. And it was so essential to my recovery, to my becoming a person that is able to transform now with joy, not just with pain, to understand that I am valuable as I am, and that telling my story is what's going to help other people be able to tell their story. It's having friends that I can say, I didn't really want to come this morning, and have her say, I didn't really want to come this morning, but it doesn't mean we don't love each other. It just means that we're human, and it's hard sometimes to put yourself out there in the world, and we still have to do it. And those are the victories, not the big wins. And of course, all these overnight stories, these people, when you look underneath the hood, you realize they didn't have any overnight stories either. They didn't have any overnight success. They worked and worked and worked and did little things every single day that moved them through. So I can truly embrace that period of time where I learned to let a man love me, even though I wasn't saving his world or his life. Let people show up for me, and most of all, let myself off the hook and know that this was going to pass. As long as I was willing to be honest and authentic and move through it and have some commitments and be of service, that I was going to be okay. And that came from a really crummy period in my life where I really learned to love myself as a true child of God. And it didn't matter what I did. I didn't have to do anything. And so I'm just going to share that right here and now. And if you have some periods in your life that you've not really particularly liked, maybe go back and spend a few minutes being grateful for them and realize that they made you who you are. And they moved you to this newer plane and this newer insight. And get ready for transformation to come, because there'll be more painful lessons and more moments that we need to seek that true self-love, that true self-acceptance. All right. Love you all. And I will talk to you soon. Everybody have a great day.